Oh boy, golden opportunity to completely ignore the song that just came on. Hold on. And instead switch to the actual stream screen after doing the muting thing for a couple more seconds because it was necessity, but yes. I'm alive today. I have been alive today. But I did spend most of today doing a bunch of other stuff that at least wasn't as much of a waste of time as it could have been. Would even go so far as to call it productive, but I do think I still have a little more work to do on that front, but that is completely irrelevant now because it's time to play King's Quest again, which means I need to open up Steam again. And much like with the other game that I'm streaming, I am attempting to... Oh boy. Attempting to navigate to the stuff that I have without getting these, like, Steam news thingies distracting me, but apparently I can't do that. Apparently I need to see that Gorn is a violent gore VR game when I don't have VR, so that is irrelevant to me. I can see that Nightcall is now available, and I see a lot of French shoot stuff on here. In the simulation noir investigation storage. Wow, that sounds really interesting. I said with about 10,000 grains of salt. First review, not recommended. Alright. Crashes to the point where it's unplayable. Oh boy, I sure hope that doesn't happen in the game that I am going to be playing. Even though it's been happening to me with other Steam games that I bought recently, but thankfully not to the point where they're actually unplayable. Even if the, the things that make them crash are apparently completely random. And even if I disable them completely, the ostensible causes for that, that's still going to happen. Albeit, apparently a lot less frequently, even though it didn't seem to be happening that frequently in the first place, so turning off the fancy visual effects that ostensibly are the cause of that doesn't really seem to change anything. There's that. But yeah, apparently there's a big Steam sale right now with a bunch of space-related games, but nobody bought stuff with the previous Steam sale, so not really in a hurry to get anything new. But now that I've emptied that queue, it's time for me to begin the actual game, if I can remember what folder I put it in. It's probably this one. It is this one. But yeah, just like the other game I was playing, I am using Input Mapper for my PS4 controller that I play this with. And I have it running on high priority, so, hopefully it doesn't have stupid disconnects that causes the music to stop randomly. If that is the case, that would be... what do you know? Well, no, never mind. I was gonna say that wasn't a disconnect at least, but it was indeed a disconnect. Never mind. And no, apparently Input Mapper gets pissy because it wants to have sole control over the input, and I guess it can't have that. I don't know why. Always open this thing with Steam closed for that specific reason, but apparently it doesn't make a difference at all. Let's try this again. Well, I did it. I actually disconnected it and reconnected it, which didn't actually happen when the disconnect happened. Let's see. I'm gonna have to restart this thing as well, because if it's like objectively not any better, then I might just stick with the one that I was using before, which is DS for Windows. Let's see. It seems to be fine now. Let's take bets on how long that's gonna last. Right, let's do... what do we just do play? Let's see, just do... game continue again. Continue? How would it even happen if we pick continue there? We already beat that chapter though. No, it does happen if we pick continue. to remember how our no, apparently you just see that. You just see the end. Guess we're gonna be doing the beginning with chapter 3, I suppose.
I began my knighthood in Daventry with nothing to my name except a feather in my cap, a cape on my back, and an appetite for adventures. Questing led me to recover King Edward's magic mirror, and he rewarded me with his throne.
Yeah, but as we remember, the magic mirror wasn't even the only thing that he quested for. Boy, big cardboard castle in the back. And a perfectly unremarkable rock. Do we have anything in our inventory right now at the beginning of chapter 3, I wonder? No, but we are able to examine these rocks nevertheless. 3 of them, in fact. So let's see. Last time we did... Oh, never mind, here we go.
And I worked tirelessly to restore the land to its former glory.
Suppose it's symbolic, you might say, the rocks are now, but...
That trellis looks better over there.
Rocks are now gone. I don't even know if it's supposed to be the same space or not. Trellis looked better over there, did it? I don't know. Does the trellis look better over below the rock, or does it look better over here? I don't know. Guess we're gonna move it though.
Or here. Hey, I'm flexible.
Can we only move it between these 2 spaces because it looks like there's something else, like over here, and I don't know how to...
That trellis looks better over there.
How to move it further to the left, I guess. It's only letting me do that between 2 spaces, so...
There, really?
Never mind, I guess it's going over to the middle space, because I can't move it any further to the left. Probably would have left it in the middle space anyway. I don't know how that's gonna affect anything, but I'm sure I'll find out.
In a few short years, I had grown into the king I'd always wanted to be. And while I was proud of the Daventry I had shaped, something still felt like it was missing.
Yeah, I wonder what that could be. Oh god. And of course you have the small owl with the vest. Oh god, yeah, please keep him. I don't want to see what that owl's gonna grow up into.
Wait! No! There is absolutely no way that could be right. There's no way that could have happened. I was too invested in that owl. I must have missed a detail in the story.
I don't know. I've seen what happens if that owl grows up, and it is a bleak future. I believe I am very okay with that owl no longer being around. No more for today. So what, do we need to actually like go back and forth between these and do stuff? How if I keep going right? Like, I'm just gonna ignore this.
No, I didn't abandon that owl family. I found a way to save their son.
Oh god damn it. Well, we're experiencing latency issues. I get the feeling that's gonna keep happening, but hey, as long as it doesn't do a full-on fake disconnect, now I guess we're gonna be... we're gonna be doing time travel to solve this puzzle. Alrighty then.
I forgot one small detail. I began my knighthood in Daventry with nothing to my name except a feather in my cap, a cape on my back, an appetite for adventures, and a small shovel in my pocket.
Oh hey Sansa, what's going on? You're still going to bed?
Tiny, spiniferous thorn seed.
Well, I was wanting to start a little bit earlier, but got caught up with a few other things.
No treasure there.
But I figure that might as well get a few hours of this,
Thorn had been planted in the dirt.
given that I'm probably gonna be doing the thing I do every other week and just stay up really late anyway. So I want to see if I can get at least one more chapter of this. It's almost 11. Well, it's almost 10 for me. So let's see. Spiniferous thornweed seed or an acorn? We have planted those here in the middle or... elsewhere. Or am I going to realize that there was actually... there were actually things growing in the middle place here. Before I remove the seeds, alright.
Okay, apologies. One last time. I began my knighthood in Daventry with nothing to my name except a feather in my cap, a cape on my back, an appetite for adventures, a small shovel, one miniature acorn, and the seed of a spiniferous thornweed.
Alright, I guess we're gonna have to keep these in place. Long enough for in the right place so that they... the badger attack is somehow repelled. Why do I put the acorn thing all the way on the left here?
That miniature acorn in the ground, a way to commemorate new beginnings.
And I wait for the latency thing to stop. Alright, and put this thing in the middle.
Spot for a spiniferous thornweed plant to thrive.
Hopefully I can catch you live again this weekend. Well, hopefully I can find time to stream tomorrow. We do try to stream on Fridays and Saturdays, but I occasionally get distracted. Alright. Let's see. A tree on the left and this thing in the middle, and...
I'm flexible.
oh, you can actually move that further to the left now, I guess. I guess you move it alternatively between the things that are actually present. Alright, what if I do that? If I leave it on the left and then... in the middle is left without it. I don't even know how the trellis changes that. Right, there's the owls.
Something's still missing in this bird brain equation. I'll try again.
Right, but what happened to the thorn thing that he just wilt? Okay. So what if we don't make that thing wilt, but instead, I guess the trellis determines whether or not it's gonna wilt.
That trellis looks better over there.
And what if I leave it here? There's a tree and here's the thorns and it just gets stuck in the thorns. Okay. Is that it?
The family of chirping owls brought a smile to my face, but anguish to my heart. My kingdom was thriving, but I was alone. Who was I building this Daventry for?
Well, apparently not for the badgers. Can't believe this game would do something so heartless as force you to save Cedric's life. God damn it. Oh well.
The loneliness of the road that night was only offset by the company of my hungry, rumbling tummy. I headed back to the castle for a bite to eat.
Alrighty then.
What good is all this food with no one to share it with?
And now we get to the actual King's Quest 2 plot, I guess.
Rude of me. Here you go.
Sire, Daventry Decree 74311.
I know. No animals are allowed at the table. Did Amaya ever respond to my invitation for dinner?
She said she had dinner plans tonight. Don't know with whom. She was a bit vague.
You're right. Perhaps the guards would accept an invite for dinner.
Graham, we'd love to.
We'd love to, but...
Yeah, Decree 911 to the 23rd power.
Afraid so, sire.
As you were. Oh, before I forget, Larry, you know I restored the budget for your own personal steed, right?
Oh, right. My own personal steed. Thank you.
Well, I suppose I could use the surplus on masking the odor of number 2. No, I mean Royal Guard number 2. He smells like syrup.
It's intolerable, really. It's gotten so bad my helmet fogs up.
You'll get used to it.
You're absolutely right. We should create a dinner guest out of all this extra food. Why didn't I think of that?
Okay, I guess that's our task. How are we going to accomplish that? Triumph. Okay.
Such big muscles. Can't believe you had trouble finding a girlfriend.
I guess they do kind of acknowledge.
Myself, Gwendolyn. Thank you very much.
They do kind of acknowledge how swole Graham was in the old official artwork for the old games.
Someone had placed a second throne next to mine as a hint. I bet it was Royal Guard number 2. He was growing old and anxious for Graham kids.
Really? You're using your own name in puns now?
You're right. That pun was chairless.
Chairless, which is supposed to evoke what? Oh boy, also a low red. Wait. No, I don't want to exit OBS. What are you talking about? I can click on that. Trying to close this window there.
Triumph's old.
Boy, I guess Triumph's not gonna survive this. Of course, Triumph was nowhere to be found even in the old continuity. Oh boy. What do we got? We got the people from the other chapters, I guess. Even though, if my choices in the last chapter is considered canon, then 2 of them are dead at this point.
You're absolutely right. We should create a dinner guest out of all this extra food. Why didn't I think of that?
I don't know.
Well, would you care to join me for dinner?
Dinner sounds lovely, but I'm only allowed to leave my post in times of distress. Or if that plate of peas needs to be replenished. Oh, I think they went too strong on the lavender again. I can smell the spices from here.
Oh, man. Alright, yes, we're just gonna have to... Oh, hold on. Why do we even have this? Chester portrait, Amaya portrait, and Bramble portrait. We're gonna be using them as the... part of the puzzle here, let's see.
What good is all this food with no one to share it with?
Oh, we got something. Got a chicken leg, got a bunch of peas, and... I guess that's it for this part of the table. What if we look elsewhere? On the other end, well, I mean... Alright. If there were only 2 people, would they be sitting on opposite ends of the table? Like that.
Well, would you care to join me for dinner?
Dinner sounds lovely, but I'm only allowed to leave my post in times of distress. Or if that plate of peas needs to be replenished. Oh, I think they went too strong on the lavender again. I can smell the spices from here.
I mean, technically the plate of peas does need to be replenished, but I guess we don't have any further... Folded napkin. Or any further... dialogue from that guy right now. Okay, I guess our pet doesn't want peas. Steed, I don't know. How about if we put meat in there? With the peas. Oh, okay, it eats the meat and the peas.
Please, sir. Apologies. I'm allergic to the lavender.
Alrighty then. Guess we can't just keep taking chicken legs and peas. Oh, I'm guessing that there's a reason for that guy not being like taking his time to get from point A to point B.
Tribe's old.
I have to do something with that. Alright, that's the same.
You're absolutely...
I don't know how we're gonna make a dinner guest out of all the extra food. Or how, hold on.
Someone had placed a second throne. Someone had placed a second throne.
Alright. Pretty sure we already saw that. Let's see, how do we put the
Now's not the time for that.
napkin in there? I put the meat on there first, and you just grab some meat, I guess. And what if you put in the peas and then the hat? So now that we put in the peas and he doesn't want to eat those.
You're not round peg? That didn't fit there.
And well, never mind, we just have the peas in the bowl now. Oh, can we put anything in here from our inventory? No, we can't. Hold on. Can we put anything on here from our inventory? I guess we can.
You're not fooling me. Round. Now that did. Now's not the time.
Apparently it's none of that. What if we... I don't know.
You're not that. Now's not.
Can you fan some of this lavender smell away from my nostrils? Please.
Is that what that accomplished?
Can you fan some of this lavender smell away from my nostrils?
Apparently we're not gonna accomplish that with just a folded napkin that conveniently looks like the adventure hat. Well, let's see if we can do anything with the mirror. No, anything with the guard moving around.
Refill?
Maybe we do this first and grab the meat. Just to see what's different there. If we stand right here, or we just grab a carpet. Is that the purpose of... Is that the whole point of that?
You're absolutely right.
Well, now that we have the carpet thing done, I don't know, do we put that here?
That didn't fit.
No? We use the carpet on that guy.
Round peg?
What good is all this food with no one to share it with?
I guess that particular dialogue can't be skipped. Why don't we put something else in there, like,
You're not fooling me. That
yeah,
didn't
that or that.
round. Now's not the time for that.
And we put the actual food in there.
No, I'm pretty full.
Who doesn't want to eat the peas? Right, or the chicken, I guess. I don't actually know about the peas because I didn't try it. Time to try it now.
Boy, these peas reek of lavender.
Peas reek of lavender, really. How would you... How would you fix that, I wonder? 'Cause apparently that's part of our task right now.
Round peg? That didn't fit there. Now's not.
And when we can triumph directly, can we? No, yes we can. Hold on.
Now's not the time. Round peg? You're not fooling me.
Just gonna give you the piece right on the floor.
Daventry Decree 74311.
I know. No animals are allowed at the table.
Or if we give you the meat, it's gonna be the same thing.
Sire.
I guess so. We can't move away from here any farther now, can we?
Well, would you?
I'm pretty sure that dialogue's repeated. Oh, I can also grab this hat rack, I guess. Or coat rack, coat stand. Oh, okay.
That's a good start. What else can we add to her? You're right, she does need a cape.
A purple cape.
What about a hat?
Oh,
What
we
should
have-
we use for the face?
Pretty sure we have all of those things. If we just put Chester's picture on there for the face.
You're right, she does need a cape.
A purple cape.
We're still calling it a she, even though. Even though we.
What about a hat?
We put on the picture of the only person that we had that isn't a woman. See, there you go.
Perfect. What should we name her? No, that's my sister's name. You know that. I'm thinking something that ends in a soft consonant.
It was at that exact moment when the magical mirror called out to me. The mirror showed me a magical reflection of a tower far away in the kingdom of Koliba. It told me that the princess I would marry was trapped at the very top, waiting for me to rescue her. Wasting no time, I grabbed a beautiful ring from the royal treasury and headed off to save my future wife.
And well, that's pretty much the. Oh boy.
My nursemaids are here. Can you excuse me for half an hour?
You got it, Grandpa.
It's pretty much a setup for King's Quest 2. Except without all the fanfare before the start of it. And of course, we don't get to the tower in that game, like, immediately. It's only like at the end of the game that you actually find that.
Gwendolyn, it's your move.
Oh. What's taking them so long?
I'm honestly not sure. He's probably just distracting the nursemaids with his jokes.
For 4 hours?
Would that really surprise you?
No, I guess not.
So, are you excited for Grandmother's birthday?
I haven't even picked out a present yet.
Mother helped me pick out mine. I'm told it's the perfect gift.
All right, children. Your grandpa is now ready for you. Gwendolyn, he asked to see you first.
Can we go together?
Best not to overwhelm him all at once. Besides, I need Gart's help with the daily decrees.
Is it alright if we finish this after lunch?
Go ahead. Wouldn't want to keep him from his favorite.
Guess we're doing it that way.
Have favorites, Gart. He loves each of you in his own special way. Now tidy up and meet me in the throne room. I've got 3 trays of appetizers with your name on them.
Own special way. Doesn't matter. Not with Addendum 48677 in the books.
Oh boy. Wonder if this guy that's been perfectly inconspicuous the entire time is somehow gonna turn out to be evil.
Ah, bother.
He literally did one move, we couldn't see that coming.
Come on. There's got to be another one in there. Just one more. One last quest. Another notch in my feather. A voyage to Neptune's kingdom. Or a journey through the infinite desert. Please, Mirror. One final adventure.
I mean, you could interpret that as being... There it is.
The person I wanted to see.
Are you doing alright?
I am now.
Did they find you the right medicine?
Your company is better than any medicine in those vials. Yeah. Now, come, sit. This time, you picked the story. Something with a dragon, perhaps.
Actually, could you tell me more about Grandma? Everyone knows she's a great queen, and she's nice and regal and wonderful. But none of that's helping me pick out her birthday present. I want to get her something really special.
Of course. I suppose there's no better place to start than at the beginning, when the travels led me to the Enchanted Isles.
Is that really the... I don't know, the plan that was preceding
Grandpa, Mom
Tower?
just
I don't
told me
remember.
that. Hasn't everyone in Daventry heard this? You climbed that tower, rescued Princess Valenice, fell in love, and lived happily ever after.
Well, fairy tales have a bad habit of simplifying matters of the heart. They weave tales that love just happens easily and with no effort required.
Oh man.
The story is far more exciting than what you've been led to believe.
It's apparently so exciting that we're gonna focus the entirety of our retelling on that and not on everything else that happened on the way. Such as those events from King's Quest 2 and 5, I think, that got referenced casually in the the dialogue in that cutscene. And you know, I get the feeling that that thing where the mirror just shows him his own reflection is gonna be like a Kung Fu Panda thing. Just, there is no secret ingredient. So wolf den. Is this like the Emperor's New Groove? I don't remember a wolf den in King's Quest 2, but I guess this series of walks is supposed to represent the entirety of the game before you get to the end. Oh, okay. How do we get down there? But then we just do. And after that transition, that's when we have to actually manually keep walking. Yeah, in King's Quest 2 the tower wasn't just there though, it was in like some alternative magical world that you can only reach by going through the door at the end, or the 3 doors, whatever. After you cross that bridge that you can only cross like the exact number of times you need to cross it to beat the game. I guess I can't go around. Guess instead we're gonna do the Cliffs puzzle from King's Quest 6, but in this, maybe. Something like it. Maybe with Mega Man blocks. Oh boy. I assume there's gonna be some kind of a timing element in here, so better not dally. Better scare off those birds that are conveniently on that specific perch. I don't know, do we just jump left? There doesn't seem to be anything to the left, but yeah, apparently it's the only option I have, so gotta take a leap of faith, like with that twin stick shooter that I bought once. That's called Leap of Faith. Can't even there, wouldn't you know it? I was wondering if that was gonna be an actual, you know, traditional King's Quest cheap death. I guess not. Didn't all of the Yeah, but didn't all of the blocks in that bottom row do that? Like, how do you tell which one isn't gonna do that?
True love never dies, but Zaz, can it hurt?
You're supposed to, like, take a step back when that happens? Oh, I see. Oh, we have to go to the middle? Nope. I was trying to go to the middle.
True love can wait.
I guess you can tell by virtue of... Okay, the one on the left and the one in the middle one. Okay, and the middle one at the top are the good ones, I guess. Oh, but
This tower.
it's a little bit difficult. Let me see if I can do this with the mouse and keyboard, actually. Like, maybe this will be a bit more precise than just trying to angle the stick exactly the right way. There we go. Sure seems like a nice place. Swords.
Brought me to that tower to find my true love. But which one was she? I played with a magic mirror to show me a sign.
How could I do that when the magic mirror's not even here, though? Well, you can definitely interpret that. And that. I don't know. And I see that we don't have a time limit for this choice. Or at least there doesn't seem to be. I take it as a choice. Let's just go with the gut here.
Princess, will you marry me?
Wait, hard pass. Hard pass? You've only just laid eyes on me, and now you're proposing?
Don't you believe in love at first sight?
Oh, sorry. I'm nearsighted. All I saw was an amorphous cape cliché stumbling into my bedroom window. Oh, please stand up. You're embarrassing yourself.
Yes, well, my apologies.
Oh well. Guess we're having a redo of this.
My one true love.
Seriously? I just watched you propose to my friend. Over there! Like 10 feet away!
So that's, no?
Yes. I mean, yes, that's a no!
Well, no bother. We shall now proceed with the rescue mission as planned. Princesses, if you would be so kind as to toss down your long, luxurious golden locks of... hair?
You're joking, right? No one's had that hairstyle for decades. Centuries, really. Please tell me buried inside that ornate cape is a real escape plan. Like a trained eagle, or flying berries, or an adventuring rope.
Adventuring rope?
I'm pretty sure that was also an old King's Quest thing. Or you could go back the way you came. Unless for this mysterious oily filter that's apparently appeared around this balcony.
You're a bit of a ropeless romantic now, aren't you?
Oh man.
Well, looks like you're stuck here with us. An intro might be in order. My name is...
Earthquake?
Not quite.
Sorry if this is bad PM, but I might have a group for Overwatch funeral stopping point. Well, I kinda just started this chapter, so probably not a great moment right now, but I don't know. Just like I don't know how this stone is apparently so flexible. Man. Academy switch if it was. Damn it.
Sorry, it only looks breakable. Over there, if you would.
Now what if I just screw up for a second time here? What could it be?
That really tied the room together. Right there, to your left.
Now what if I go to the left this time?
Nice moves, quick feet.
I felt like the magic mirror was playing games with my heart. Was it watching every move I made? Did it already know who my queen was? I needed to relax. I needed to be myself. I needed to help clean up the mess I made.
Needed to acknowledge that weird filter that's apparently keeping me inside.
What was this dark magic? An invisible wall guarded the outside world from me. If I wanted to impress the princesses, I would need to find another way to get that vase.
Well, I can think of a few possibilities, like... Is it only for living beings, this filter? Why do I still have all these 3 portraits with me? Well, that is indeed the case, but... You know. That's a good question. Sure how long we'll be going, so if you're still on, feel free to join. Yeah, I don't know how long I'm gonna be doing this for either. Probably for another good while, though. Well, as far as seeming approachable, I guess this one seems a little more.
Hey there. Sorry about earlier. Things got a little... weird.
It's all right. We all go a little... awkward sometimes.
I'm Graham, by the way. As in King Graham of Daventry. As in King Graham the...
Well, ironically enough, we could say the one that we have the least actual choices pointing towards so far of these 3.
Wise.
Wise, huh? A pleasure to meet you, Graham. I'm known as Nice. As in Princess Nice of Western Kalima.
Is Nice short for something?
It is, but only my family calls me by my full name.
Oh. I see.
Yep.
Okay then. So, I should also apologize for forgetting my adventuring rope. I guess nothing was planned in my proposal.
Yes, the adventuring rope. Sorry, I was just joking. Rope wouldn't help us.
It wouldn't?
If there was a way to escape, we would have done it by now. I've tried Pegasus summoning, beanstalk repelling, wishing on magic stars. You name it. V even constructed a hang glider out of sheets and hangers once. Nope. We're all bound to this tower by some outdated wizard spell. You know, one that needs some nonsensical ideal of love to break it.
I see.
I knew from reading Courting Queens and Whole Court the importance of a good first impression. I would have to choose my next words carefully.
So...
God. Alright. Pretty sure she told you where she's from, and as far as the only one that doesn't seem like a non sequitur, other than that.
So, how do you think this is going so far?
Awkward question to ask. This conversation or the rescue? Because it would have been nice if you'd arrived on a flying carpet.
That didn't go so well. No matter. I tried again.
Flying carpet, which I'm pretty sure was also a King's Quest 2 thing.
What's your favorite jelly bean?
Popcorn, of course. Is there any other option?
Not in my book.
Didn't we have a reference to that precise thing earlier on in this game? I can't quite remember. So hold on a second, let me look at the thing real quick. It's only just now that I actually look at the other questions. I think the only one of these that doesn't seem terrible would be this one.
Who would you say is your best friend?
V. Forever and always. We make a good team, and we're always coming up with the craziest of ideas. Well, I come up with the crazy ideas. She just kind of looks at me funny and stares at me blankly. Do you have a best friend?
Oh, well, I have Triumph. He's a great pal, but not much of a talker. Then there's the townspeople, and they're great, but I guess we're not like best friends. Oh, the knights, but they're sort of forced to like me. I guess it's an open position?
Well, that was a pleasant enough distraction, but we best get back to tidying up.
For our own benefit, I suppose.
Hello. I thought perhaps we could have a do-over.
A rematch? All right. Well, we could start with your name.
My name? Of course. I'm King Graham of Daventry. King Graham the...
Well, let's might as well keep our story consistent here. Because it's probably gonna count against us if we don't.
Wise.
The Wise? Nice to meet you, Graham. I'm V, as in Princess V of Eastern Kalima.
So, do you come here often? To this tower?
Well, it's an embarrassing story, but I'm not one to lie. An old woman bet me I couldn't climb to the top of this tower and beat the record. I'm never one to back down from a challenge.
Did you beat the record?
Of course I did. Crushed it. But now I'm trapped up here. I do hope Dad is not too worried. And that he remembers to change the Leviathan's water.
Leviathan?
So what about you? What brings you here?
Was there a Leviathan in Kalima? Well, I guess we're gonna lie for this, because I think we've already established that the other option is not favorable.
I was also trying to beat the record.
Really? What was your time?
Well, it was pretty sure it was quite a bit longer than any of these, but
Half of whatever your time was.
Nice try. But your left ear twitched. Where I come from, that's a tell that you're bluffing. Now go on. We should get back to cleaning.
okay. Is that all? Or do we have more options to interact with the room?
Shame. It looked like the loot cracked in the tumble and was in need of a repair.
Oh well. I have to figure out a way to get to that vase. Actually, I think I just started, even though it's actually been going for like about an hour. It doesn't seem like just trying to get my bearings in this chapter is gonna get a bunch of people killed like in the last chapter. What else is there here?
Ugly purple book. winged Pegasus on its cover. Perhaps one of the princesses would know where it went.
Yeah, who could know where the sparkling magic book went?
Version of a battle of wits. Huh. I don't see a spot for board games.
I don't know if I would want another version of that board game from the end of the first chapter.
It was cold at the top of that tower.
Seems like, kind of reminds me of those...
Were you invited up there?
Oh boy, I don't know, was I? What is up there?
Shame. It looked...
No, not that.
Don't go up there.
I might as well go equal with these.
masterpiece. No idea where this belongs.
These, presents. Well, that probably belongs here if I had to guess. But, can't interact with that. We got the loot, we got that, we got...
Crosswords, riddles, and puzzles. The whole book was solved already. I wonder who it belonged to.
I don't know. There's apparently only a couple possibilities here, so...
This puzzle box busted in the fall and could use some fixing.
Apparently it's got a spring popping out of it, even if I don't really know how that would factor into it. Let's see. Do you know about this book?
The hidden magical world. Each page brings me more joy than the last. Can you put that over there?
Alrighty then. Guess we're putting this over here.
Very nice.
If we're going by color-coded logic, what occurs if I give you this?
That's not Baroque, is it? Okay, good. Ask Nice where that goes.
What about the rest of these?
My dad and I used to play this game for hours. It goes on that shelf.
Okay. Not really a shelf though, is it?
Appreciate it.
It's more like a cabinet where you can conveniently prop something on the top, but I wouldn't call it a shelf.
I read that at least 3 times a year. Could you put it back over there?
Over there under the green box. Alrighty then. Guess we can ask her where the painting goes.
I'll finish it someday. Until then, it goes over there.
On the actual easel, who would have ever guessed that? Let's see.
That's not Baroque, is it?
Oh dang it. I picked the wrong thing.
Appreciate it.
Of course, I wonder if that has any effect, the order in which we're doing this. Are those bone nunchucks?
Some sort of nunchuck made of bone. At least it was a self-sustainable business model.
At least bananas are a renewable resource, like that old joke goes.
Appreciate it.
So do we just keep the bone nunchucks? Oh boy, and bongos. Which look very much like the,
Perhaps they go with the kitchenware.
very much like the DK bongos you could use for the GameCube. Well, do you know where these go?
Those are V's. She never lets me touch them. She'll know where to put them.
Oh, what about the other thing?
My bongos! Oh, V says these are nothing but treble. Can you put them back over there?
Does bass and treble even apply to percussion? Well, I guess we're just doing busy work right now.
Thank you.
And there's an acorn here too. Guess we're just gonna lift this and hope that nobody notices. Can we, like, similarly look at the other stuff that, I guess not yet. Been tasked with, putting back in its place.
How to make was chocolate chip pancakes, and I didn't see any chocolate chips.
That reminds me, I should probably make some pizza tomorrow.
It was cold at the top of that tower.
And there's apparently no shutters. Well, why do I get a feeling we're gonna have to end up, like, sleeping out here if we spend several days in here? What about this acorn?
What can I say? As an only child, I was in constant need to keep myself entertained.
At least you didn't call this a shelf.
Appreciate it.
And there's also conveniently a big old halberd in here. Your blade, Birdish thingy. So now we have this, a long spear, and we have an acorn. Can we just use this to reach that thing? Yeah, apparently that doesn't. That barrier doesn't affect.
Wow, not too shabby.
What do you call it?
Good work, Graham.
Well, non-living things, but there's like another word I was looking for that. You could also have thrown the acorn and have the squirrel get it for you.
You better hide.
Even though that's okay, I'm not in control right now. I think.
Stand that soggy woman. I won't even speak to her.
Did tilt the stick a little bit, but I don't know if that affected anything.
Nice, but it's true.
You've never been one to give the time of day to people you don't like.
Seriously, she looks like a melted marshmallow.
Boy. Agatha being the evil witch from the second King's Quest 2, I'm pretty sure.
Ah, how are my delicate little flowers?
We're splendid, Hagatha. Thank you.
Don't think she was a lizard woman, though.
Looks like you lovelies missed a spot. What was that?
Nothing.
That's
Oh boy.
a good princess should keep her thoughts on the inside, just like we practiced.
I'm gonna notice the fact that our cape is caught up in there. And maybe neither is she.
Out of place?
No, she does. Now we can't really do much about this by ourselves.
Aftershock?
Yeah, that's what you call that when it's not even an actual earthquake.
Oh, sweetie, we'll need to continue working on your awkward bungling.
I've been working on my sleep giggles too.
Perfect.
Oh boy. Now we might have gone a little too far, I guess.
The garden needs to be weeded.
I'm guessing this will be a game over. Yep.
This part went so smoothly the last time I told it.
It doesn't look like we can move in the other direction now, boy.
Right, dearie. A good princess should keep her thoughts on the inside, just like we practiced.
This part looks to be the same, but it doesn't look like I can skip it. Okay, that part I can.
Oh, sweetie, we'll need to continue working on your awkward bungling.
I've been working on my sleep giggles too.
Perfect. Perfect. Now, where was I? Oh, yes, that smell. From over there.
Literally just gonna stand behind the painting.
What do we have here?
Hagatha, would you like
to interrupt? It's rude.
Whatever you say. Slimy cucumber.
Oh man.
Oh, joy! Looks like another princess has joined our party.
Princess?
Long, flowing gown, pale skin with rose-colored cheeks, an elaborate headdress, and wait. Oh, the scent of lavender. I recognize a princess when I see one. Welcome to my tower. I'd invite you to dinner, but you don't really have a choice. Agatha, good one.
I guess we're just going with this. So, upon this situation, we get recognized as a princess, but in the other timeline, she just killed us, I guess.
delighted to make your acquaintance.
Oh, what a sweet little princess. Need to work on your grace, though. Now come. It's time to eat.
Hum's face.
Hush! What was that? What's everyone feel like for dinner?
I'll take savory. Sweet, please.
Oh man. Well, it's supposed to be an actual dish.
Agatha excused herself and told us to get our beauty rest like all good princesses should. The sun was setting, but none of us were sleepy. V suggested we play a game to pass the time. Niece picked out Moral Quarrel, a casual social game. V preferred something more competitive, but Brunswick went along with it.
I don't know.
The first step is we answer all the cards in front of us. We must answer honestly, or the game won't work.
It's probably gonna be less terrible than something that's actually competitive.
A magical genie offers you one of two very specific wishes. A, you can live one life that lasts 1,000 years. Or B, you can live 10 lives that last 100 years. Which do you choose?
Well, this is a very vague question. Am I gonna be...
Come on with it. This is the easy part.
Am I gonna be aging normally? Am I gonna have my memories of the previous lives? If I have separate lives? I mean...
Do you still need more time? Good thing we went with such a simple game.
Assuming that both of those are true, I guess I would go with the B.
You are a royal guard on the lookout for an evil sorcerer that has been terrorizing villagers. When you finally apprehend this sorcerer, you discover he is Charles, your childhood best friend. Do you A, tell Charles to leave town and never return? Or B, throw your friend in the castle dungeon?
Don't get lost. Charles, the evil sorcerer. Oh boy.
Would you rather A, have a pet dragon, or B, be a dragon?
I want to be a dragon with a pet dragon. Is that weird?
Depends. Species of dragons work in the same complication as species of other animals.
Would you rather A, have a tail that never stops loudly tapping against the ground, or B, have noodles for hands? Well, that wouldn't allow you to pick up anything.
Dragons have tails. So tail.
I don't know. If I had the noodles, if I had the tail, I guess I could use something else for... I could put on some earplugs when I wanted to sleep.
Just be honest.
And noodles for hands, I guess there would be some alternatives to that, but let's go with the tail.
Would you rather A, constantly reek of syrup and not smell it, or B, constantly smell reeking syrup?
I actually like the smell of syrup.
Let's go with the selfish one here.
First, we mix up our hands. At the start of our turn, we choose which player we want to try to pair with.
Okay.
Then ask the question from the card at the top of our decks. If both asker and askee answer the same way, they both place the card on one of the 3 spaces between them.
Ready.
If there are 3 cards between the 2 players, they both win the game. If there's not a match between players, the card must be discarded. If a player runs out of cards before matching 3, they lose. Graham, are you getting all this?
Yeah, totally.
Oh, Mirror, which one is it? Is it V? Is it Niece? Do they like me? Do I like them? What does my breath smell like? Oh, lavender. And, ew, eggs. We're inside. Should I take my hat off? What if they don't like capes? That's silly. Everyone loves capes. What if they're allergic to Triumph? Please tell me this is my inside voice.
What are you thinking about?
Oh, nothing. Just in my relaxed box.
Ready to begin? Graham, you start.
So I guess I wasn't actually... Oh boy.
Offers you one of 2 very specific wishes. A, you can live one life that lasts 1,000 years. Or B, you can live 10 lives that last 100 years. Which do you choose?
Well, we know the... Pick the answer B for that one. I don't know, who would pick that answer? The one where it's like, let's learn from that. Probably be her, right? I don't know, because we're gonna go for her.
100% B.
Yeah, there you go.
I agree. Think of all the lives you could lead. Explorer, artist, pirate, vampire.
I'd honestly be more concerned if you would be able to keep your memories between your lives, but...
Inadvertently drops one shiny gold coin on the ground. You see a poor, hungry orphan pick it up. Do you A, convince the orphan to be honest and return the coin, or B, turn your head the other way and let the orphan keep the coin?
Oh, fuck. It's about to disconnect, I suspect, because it's... Okay, no, never mind. But it wasn't letting me register it, but now it was. Let's see. One shiny gold coin can apparently buy a lot in this world, though, from what we've seen. It'll probably pay off for the orphan, and the other guy will let him keep the coin. I mean... Is this a rich merchant that's a bastard, or... Is it a rich merchant that's actually gonna let him do that? Let's assume the better thing for this, for the purposes of this.
I figured their honesty would be rewarded with more than just one shiny gold coin.
Yeah, see?
Yes, I chose A2. The orphan learned a valuable lesson, and would probably be rewarded for their honesty too.
Graham?
Oh man.
You have been hunting for your starving family all day, and only managed to catch a small goose. On your way back home, a hungry beggar offers you magic beans in return for the goose. The beggar tells you that the beanstalk sprouted from his beans will lead you to a chest that produces unlimited food. He would go after it himself, but his legs are too tired and old. Do you A, kindly reject the offer and bring your starving family their dinner? Or B, let the beggar eat the goose and plant the beans in your yard?
How many people would a goose feed? I guess a small goose. Magic beans in return for the goose. It sounds like a swindler, let's be honest here. I don't know how that would apply, how you would apply that logic in this fantasy world, but... And especially considering, you know, the actual fairy tales that they're supposed to be based off of, in which that is true, but... I don't think just remain a skeptic.
Hey, I wouldn't give up a bird in my hand for a wild goose chase.
Sorry, B. Magic beans!
So, rip that card, I guess.
You are a royal guard on the lookout for an evil sorcerer that has been terrorizing villagers. When you finally apprehend this sorcerer, you discover he is Charles, your childhood best friend. Do you A, tell Charles to leave town and never return? Or B, throw your friend in the castle dungeon?
Well, we did go with A, which is tell him to leave, but... Charles, I think, is still a dumb name for an evil sorcerer. Unless it was Charles Le Sorcier from one of Lovecraft's first short stories that he did, I think. And the one who would probably choose that, I don't know. This would be a matter of practicality versus sentimentality, so... I guess her?
I pick A.
What do you know?
I agree. Charles should be banished for the crimes he committed. But I couldn't imprison a friend.
Niece?
Oh man.
You are the kingdom's wizard doctor. In the middle of the night, an honorable knight and despicable thief arrive at your door. The thief's injuries are much more severe than the knight's. Do you A, heal the knight first, or B, heal the thief first?
I picked A. The honorable knight served our kingdom well, and he deserves to be healed.
I picked B. I would honor my medical oath to serve those in need first.
Well, I guess the medical oath exists in this world. There you go. Maybe they're not doing that great.
Oh, this is pretty on the nose. A man you've never met, but is known as a friendly king, sends for your hand in marriage. Do you A, accept his invitation, trusting his reputation, or B, seek love on your own?
Is there any other answer than B?
Of course. I chose the same.
That's a good sign.
Would you rather A, have a pet dragon, or B, be a dragon?
I chose the pet dragon, so I'm guessing she's gonna have chosen that.
A. Definitely A.
Yep, I could use a pet dragon. Our moat monster is looking to retire.
We can get a pet dragon, probably.
You're poor, and a thief pickpockets your only call, forcing you to go hungry for the night. A few days later, you see the same thief get robbed of his dinner by 2 bandits. You chase after the bandits and get back the stolen food. Do you A, return the food to the thief, or B, keep the food, teaching the thief a lesson?
That would be a B, I'm pretty sure. I mean, you would have to be really the fucking saint to do A in this one, and I think we're going for the more practical option here.
I'd eat the food. You said I was poor and hungry, right? That thief will be fine for 1 night without dinner. Hopefully he won't steal again.
Unless, you know, he's poor and hungry too, which,
It was a close game, but in the end, I won with V. Good thing, too. She seemed like she didn't like to lose. Nice was satisfied with her pick of the game.
hey, what do you know, it all worked out.
The sun went down, the
Perfectly balanced.
We decided it was too cold to play another game and headed to bed. The walls of the tower were pretty thin, and embarrassing as it is to admit, that night I overheard the princesses talking about me.
Really.
So, what do you think of King Graham the Wise?
So they in one room?
Yet. What do you think?
He's interesting.
This seemed like the perfect time to explore the tower. I was interested in getting to know my new home better.
Really. So yeah, I'm guessing that if we had told them different versions of what the title was, that would have made them hate us there. They're like, hey, what do you think about this guy who called himself this? He didn't call himself that when he was talking to me.
It was cold at the top of that tower.
Actually, give me a minute, because... Oh man. I want to check this thing. Not this, but this, okay. Oh boy, controller is experiencing latency. What a surprise that is. Oh god, experiencing so much latency apparently that it's causing the input to lose its thing. Oh boy, I guess the entire barrier shifts slightly when we bump into an edge of it. I don't know. But we can interact with here, honestly.
It was chocolate chip pancakes.
Because right now, it doesn't look like we can do much other than
This puzzle box bust.
just examine stuff that we already examined previously.
I wasn't ready for bed yet.
We know the other two apparently are, even though they're gossiping.
Shame.
Yeah, we heard about the broken loot and all the other broken stuff. I don't know what else we can do here, but... maybe nothing. What if we step in the middle in the thing? Yeah, I guess that's it. The other parts of the tower. Didn't realize that we could actually,
Time, a beautiful princess lost
change floors at will.
and patiently waited for a charming prince to come and rescue her.
Which is kind of funny because this is actually the only chapter of this game that I've seen other people play. Oh boy.
Oh, I do miss her.
The months turned to years, and no prince ever came to whisk her off to a happy ending.
By I do miss her, I guess that means that's who she was in the past, maybe.
The enchanted canvas painted a younger portrait of whatever stood in front.
Oh, well, there you go. Actually, they do the same thing with Hagatha in the AGDI remake of King's Quest 2, don't they?
Bitter and mad, she began kidnapping princesses in order to increase her chances of being rescued.
How would I figure that that's what they could do with her if she did that?
but seem to be missing a piece.
Oh man, no. I think we're starting to get to a puzzle bit, and we're kind of in this room. And I keep eating this latency. I think like the latency is like comes at just the right time though. Oh boy, right failure. So yeah, it's kind of doing the thing. What I think I'm gonna do actually is I don't see progress will be lost, but I hope it's saved recently. Oh boy. Well, now the controllers, yeah, it's just getting disconnected many times virtually. If I just pick play and do this, it just pops me right back in, right? Okay, good. I think I'm gonna cut this short a little bit actually, by which I mean I would have cut this short about this time, which means I should have started earlier, but I was getting busy, but the other junk that I wanted to do today, and at least I did it. But yeah, since this is such an infrequent occurrence, I think I'm actually gonna go see if this group is still up. So, yeah, methinks I'll just plop the game right there for the time being, played about an hour and a half of this chapter, and I will continue that tomorrow, which probably means I'm not gonna be able to finish the game this weekend unless I like do something on Sunday, which I probably am not gonna do, but it's not like a huge rush for me. So yeah, y'all take it easy. Thank you everybody for coming like always. Thanks for chatting. Always great whenever people chat. And since I'm probably not going to be doing any more streaming right now, I guess I can throw a raid at... Well, I don't know, can I? Or am I dead? I don't think I'm dead for once. I think we're going to be... Let me go ahead and pop the music again. There we go. It actually became more fitting this way, since this is the same song that I used to play for the end of the stream on Hitbox, I think. Just on not even on Hitbox, like in my old Twitch channel that I used to have way back in like 4 years or 5 years ago. At this point, I've been streaming for 5 years, and yet nothing much seems to have changed. All right. But here we're gonna be raiding Uppercut, who's playing Hyrule Warriors. If you want to be sticking around for that, that's cool. If not, then that's cool as well. But regardless of whatever this goes, I am going to be seeing you later, by which I mean tomorrow, probably, unless something similarly anomalous happens, or else on the odd chance that I think Captain K is playing Monster Hunter World tonight later, so probably gonna be being there as well, but that's for later. So yeah, speaking of later, I'm gonna do the thing that I always say and say, I will see you later. I will see you later.